With safety top of mind amid rising concerns about public security and unpredictable threats, a former CIA officer is sharing the same awareness tools used in the field. Let's welcome Tim Beard, author of the book Look Twice, a guide to a practical mindset to help identify trouble before trouble identifies you. Glad to have you with us.
Layla, thanks for having me on today. I appreciate the opportunity.
I find this subject matter to be so fascinating because you can't put a premium on keeping your head on a swivel, keeping yourself safe, your family safe when you go out into the world. So can you recognize those subtle warning signs before a situation turns dangerous?
Well, I got to tell you, the thing that's the most important thing to do, you got to stay aware. A lot of folks, we talk about recognizing warning signs. One of the things you want to do is you want to establish a baseline. These are terms I have from my background, both as an officer in the Marines and then as a CIA clandestine service officer. I retired from CIA a few years ago. So the thing that I recommend folks do is they develop a baseline around their home, their place of work, where they worship, where they go to school, where they play, where they spend their time, shopping malls. Wherever you spend your time, develop a baseline about what's normal and what's not. And then when something starts to deviate from that baseline, it warrants further investigation. If it's too weird, it's time to leave right now. I'm a huge believer in mitigating risk by avoiding and doing a lot of planning and preparation in advance.
It sounds like you have to listen to your gut a lot as well, because usually your gut never lies.
That's absolutely true. And the first thing you got to do is you got to be aware. You got to be in the moment. How many times have you seen folks walking down the street and they have, that's what we call being exposed. You're on the street and an adversary, a potential criminal, somebody who might want to hurt you or doesn't have your best interests at heart, they have access to you. So if you have your phone out and your face is buried in your phone, that right there, you've just given up some of your senses. Somebody can walk right up to you. You won't know what's going on. Another great example of that, the audience can very quickly change the behavior on this. People wear headphones. They wear earbuds when they're out walking down the street. The thing you got to do is put those away until you're in a place where, if you want to use your phone, because people want to use their phone, just tuck into a coffee shop, go into a grocery store, go into a hospital, go into a place that I'll call a hard point, which is where you're separated physically from an adversary or a potential adversary. You can call for help. You can get help from others. You're not isolated or alone. Use your phone there. Listen to your headphones there. Just don't do it on the street.
Absolutely. And when you were talking about baseline for the places that you frequent, including your own home, how do you protect your home and your family without turning your house into a fortress?
Well, first thing you want to do too is we all live in the real world. No one wants to live in a self-made prison. So the way you do that is you have to consider what I'll term the possible versus the probable. A meteor could fall on me right now. Is that possible? Sure. Am I going to waste time preparing for that? No. Sometimes life happens. I'm worried about probable threats. I'm going to deal with things that actually could happen. Maybe the top 3 or 4 things. And while things are calm, like around my house, first thing I want to do is I want to lock my doors. It's amazing how many people don't lock their front door or their back door or the windows, including a second story. Lock the stuff up. Perhaps invest into an alarm system that has, and we've seen this out in the Tucson situation with the Guthrie situation. You want to have cameras that have the ability to turn on when they see motion from an animal, from a human, and you want them to have a night vision capability. Put one that's higher up out of reach. But if you have multiple cameras, depends on your security level, your security threat. You always ask yourself, what's the threat I'm dealing with? What am I facing? You don't want to be paranoid. You don't want to over prepare. You want to do what's necessary to provide some additional safety.
You know, a lot of these cameras, they run off of Wi-Fi, but you can get cameras that are solar powered, that run off of cellular. So there really is little to no excuse to secure your property. One last question, we just have a few seconds left. When you're out of town, when you're in an unfamiliar situation, restaurants, events, how do you protect yourself there?
thing I want folks to do, think about what, if you're going to go to a restaurant, when you go to the restaurant, try to do a little research beforehand. You don't have a baseline because it's not your home area. So what are you going to do if there is a problem? When you have adrenaline pouring through your body, a lot of times you're going to lose your fine motor skills and you're not going to make the best of decisions.
That's right.
So think about what you want to do in advance when you're calm and write to what I term the hard drive in your brain. Because when something happens, you're going to go to that space in your head. And if there's nothing written there, the chances of you freezing or going to shock become higher.
And I also find when you see someone suspicious, lock eyes, make eye contact, because that will tell them, go to the next person. Tim Beard, thank you so much for joining us. You can always find his book, Look Twice. I highly recommend it. Great to have you with us.
Thank you for your time.
We're back after this.